Warning: Me Time and Murder is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Oh, for God's sake, here
Dancing
it goes.
around him, reciting poetry. Yes.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
No. Why? Oh, well, big surprise.
Oh God. Dead on the bathroom floor.
Did it? Okay. Oh.
Trez, what are you drinking?
Today I'm drinking Robert's decaf tea.
Roberts, you are cheating on Barry?
Yeah, I would love a Barry's decaf, but right now I am drinking Robert's. It's still an Irish brand, but it's nice. I'm not sure is it as strong. Barry's, like, you put the tea bag in and it's like already strong. You know, there's no waiting around. It's nice taste, but I love a quick tea. I hate this kind of waiting for it to brew.
Waiting for it to stew.
Is that just me? Is anyone else like that? Because if I wait for it to brew, if I go back to my desk and I sit down, I'll wait for it to brew. I'll get up like 10 minutes later and it'll be cold. Like, I just forget about it. So I need to like make my tea in the moment.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What are you drinking, Mariam?
I am drinking Twining's peach tea.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a while, so it's been forgotten about.
Yeah,
so showing Twining some love. Yeah. And what about your me time?
For me time, I'm just keeping it really simple. I'm actually just putting a big thick layer of hand cream on, and I'm going to sit and let that soak in while we record because my hands are feeling really parched. Just all of the anti-bac is just kind of... I had a lot of anti-bac this weekend.
What's anti-bac?
Antibacterial.
You had a lot of it?
Yeah.
What's that? You mean hand sanitizer?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. On my hands. So they're really, really dry. So I am using... This isn't actually a hand cream, but I put it on my hands. It's the CeraVe moisturizing cream. It comes in a big old tub. And it's just really, really simple. Like, CeraVe's products are like that. There's no, like, fragrance or unnecessary things in them because my hands are really sensitive, which is really annoying because obviously you use your hands a lot.
Well, for the first time, I am trying The Ordinary. I am well behind in the times.
Wait a minute, that sentence doesn't sound right.
I don't think their website delivers to Hong Kong, but I was shopping the other day and I seen like a whole big section of The Ordinary in like a local drugstore. Oh, it's like this Chinese drugstore. Yeah. Yeah, so I got a couple of things.
What did you get?
Try it out. So I've just got like a thick layer of the natural moisturising factors plus hyaluronic acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got that on your face?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. I've not used that, but I know the one you're on about.
Because I was going to get the, my friend, she looks great, and I was asking her what moisturiser she uses, and she uses Kiehl's. Have you heard about Kiehl's?
I have. Now, they're a little pricier, obviously.
Very
The Ordinary
expensive.
Is just so affordable, The Ordinary.
Yeah, I went to like go buy Kiehl's, and I was like, I think it was like £38 or something for like a little tub.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think that they're quite natural, so maybe that's what you're paying for.
It's hard to know. I don't know if they are any better or if their branding is just good.
I know, it's hard to know. I mean, that I do believe that skincare doesn't need to be expensive when it comes to the ingredients, you know.
Yeah. Like in the store, I don't know if you have a Kiehl's store, but in our Kiehl's store, like they've all got like skeletons dressed in like lab coats.
The one in Belfast was like that. I always remember the skeleton.
Which I don't get.
I think
like, what does that have to do with moisturiser?
Sciencey, I don't know. I'm not buying it.
I don't buy it either. So I bought
I meant yeah, no. I was tempted by, I think they have this like kiwi eye cream or avocado eye cream. I can't remember. But it was like the big thing for a while. But every eye cream I get just irritates my eyes. So it doesn't matter how expensive it is. In fact, if it's more expensive, it's probably going to be worse. So, because it's got just too much in it. The struggle is real. But The Ordinary...
Okay, Trez, today we are going to talk about Elizabeth Donoghue.
Do not know this person.
No, I don't think it's a very well-known case.
Okay.
Which is good. I think our listeners, from the analytics, I can see that our listeners prefer cases that are unknown, like pretty unknown. Okay. So I'm hoping this is right up everybody's alley.
I certainly like unknown.
Yeah, I was able to go on to the Apple downloads, like just the Apple analytics for like our episodes, and you could see the percentage of people who were skipping over like famous cases, but like unknown cases would have like 80 to 100% of listeners listen to that episode. But if it's like an unknown case, it's like 60%.
That's really
Or if it's a known case, like if it's famous, it's like 60%. So yeah. Also, people for some reason don't seem to like the animal cases.
Have we done many? Oh wait, the horse.
We did the horse and the animals on the Titanic.
Guess not everyone's thing.
But anyway, so we're not doing that today. But we've got a twisty one here, unknown. Okay, so let's start. On Friday evening, April 23rd, 2004, we are in Herts, England.
Okay.
39-year-old Elizabeth Donoghue was at home running a bath. Her 3 teenage kids were out for the night, and her second husband, 35-year-old James Donoghue, was chilling in the living room watching TV. Elizabeth was sitting in the bathroom chatting to her friend Christopher on the phone, when all of a sudden she heard 2 loud bangs.
No.
She went down the stairs to look around, only to find her husband, James, lying in a pool of blood.
Awful.
The perpetrator had fled. Neighbours who had heard the 2 loud bangs and the commotion called the police and an ambulance. Elizabeth was taken to the hospital in a state of shock, while James was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, when a person is murdered, who is usually the first suspect?
Spouse.
Yes. Police arrested and charged Elizabeth and her phone caller that night, Christopher.
Charged him? What?
After some digging, police were convinced that Elizabeth was having an affair with the man on the phone. Convicted rapist and kidnapper Christopher Reid.
Wait a minute. All right, wait a minute. I'm just going to be real here. When I heard she was drawing a bath,
yeah,
and speaking to some guy Christopher on the phone, it did send alarm bells to me. And then I thought, Christopher is her gay best friend.
Yeah,
lovely be. Christopher.
Yeah.
Because don't know would I be talking to, a straight male friend while I'm in the bath.
Yeah.
There's something about that it's just...
Yeah.
A gay best friend?
Maybe. I don't know.
So he is not who I'm thinking.
No, he is not the gay best friend.
Great character. He's a...
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know what they were talking about. Like, who knows? They could be talking about...
Was that a regular thing? That, she was
don't know.
Just normally... Okay. So he's a convicted rapist and...
Kidnapper.
Uh-huh.
And when interviewing potential accomplices and others who could be possibly linked to the crime, police were able to retrieve the sawn-off shotgun of Christopher's son, Christopher Jr. This was the shotgun. Off? Yeah, it was sawn-off shotgun was the murder weapon.
Does that mean that they erased the kind of serial number and stuff?
I'm not too sure how it works. I think it changes the ballistics. I'm not too sure what is the point of a sawn-off shotgun.
The son's gun was used.
I don't think the gun was just found in the son's house.
Oh.
Okay, the point of a sawn-off shotgun is that it's easier to conceal.
Okay,
it's just to make it smaller, essentially.
Sawn off shotgun. That's really hard to say. Sawn. The past tense of saw.
Sawn.
I didn't even know that was a word. Sawn off.
But it's not sawed. Was it a sawed off? Sawn?
Oh, I thought that's what you were... I thought like he sawed it off.
Yeah, it is sawed off.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
So
Is
confused.
it sawn? Sawn? It's not. It doesn't have a little thingy underneath. It's definitely spelt right. Whatever.
Okay.
People saw off the thing to make it smaller.
Okay. So it's illegal to do this.
Yes.
And the son, is this the couple's biological son?
This is Christopher's son. Had this
from a previous relationship.
Yeah, Christopher and Elizabeth are like not dating, or they're not official, or whatever.
Oh, sorry, this is Christopher's son.
Yeah, Christopher's son. Christopher, who was on the phone.
Yes, bad Christopher.
To her, yeah.
Okay.
At trial...
Sorry, I thought we were talking about the son of the murdered man.
Of James,
I really need to keep up. Okay.
No. Elizabeth has 3 teenage kids from her first marriage, and then no kids with James. And then Christopher...
Oh.
There's
and
Christopher
has one son.
Yeah. There's Christopher Senior and Christopher Junior.
Oh, God, okay. I know people do that, but I don't know about that.
Dan Jr.
Think of a new name.
Jaron Jr. Oh, cannot call Jaron Jr.
There is a name, and I don't want to say what it is, but there is a name that Dan has for a baby name. And I'm really impressed by this. I'm really impressed, because I really like it. I know it sounds really bad. I'm shocked that I liked it.
Well, I'm impressed, baby.
But then at dinner last night, someone said, "Oh yeah, my mum's cat so and so," and I was like, "No." Like, someone is used as a cat name, so I'm like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Then cause anyway.
Yeah.
God, so many names are taken. Maybe I will just.
What is the name? Why don't you share?
Trez Jr.
Trez Jr.
I'm not sharing it.
Why not?
Trez Jr. That's the name. I'm not sharing it. Because if someone's already used it as a cat name, I don't want it getting out further. I want it. Keeping this close. Yeah. Close.
It's going to be something stupid like...
It's not.
Like Charlotte or something boring.
No, it's not. But I do like Charlotte.
Charlotte is a nice name.
It is actually. Do you know there's not a lot of Charlottes? Okay, let's get back on track.
At trial, prosecution lawyers argued that on the night of James's murder, Elizabeth had left the back door open and went upstairs. Then, on the phone, Elizabeth directed Christopher, gun in hand, towards James. At the trial, the crime scene was reconstructed and presented by the prosecution to the jury. As well as cell site analysis forensics was used during trial. Mobile phone geolocation tracking the cell phone tower pings, like, the tower, the ping, everybody knows this, was used to pinpoint Elizabeth's exact location in the house. The prosecution also used firearms identification forensics, and the forensic evidence testified to match the bullet and the gun. And in return for a lesser sentence, the holder of the gun, Christopher Jr., testified against his father, Christopher Sr. Yeah. It was like a slam dunk case. They had all this like forensic evidence, they had all of this, and then they had testimony.
Yeah.
Christopher Jr. claimed that Sr., his dad, had asked him to hide the murder weapon, shotgun, and to wash the clothes he had been wearing at the scene.
All right, so we know what went down. Do we know why?
Well, this is what was speculated. This is what was in court. The motive, not only that they were having an affair, but Elizabeth and Christopher had planned the murder months in advance.
Oh, God.
According to the prosecution and the investigation team, 3 months prior, Elizabeth took out a life insurance policy on James, forging his signature.
Oh, no.
In the event of James's death, Elizabeth was set to inherit £144,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right, but it's actually not that great.
Yeah.
Right?
I
just feel like I've heard so many other cases where it's like millions and...
Millions. Where you would pause, but... you're like, well... £144,000 is like...
That is...
You could just steam through that in like 2 years easy.
She's like, she's not thinking straight. Yeah.
It was also revealed in court that Elizabeth and Christopher Sr. had plotted to kill James on 2 separate occasions. According to Christopher Jr., one plot was put in motion when Jr. and Sr. planned on ambushing James. They had stalked and waited for him in a van, but for some unknown reason, they decided not to go through with it. I think they sort of got cold feet and called it off.
Okay.
Another time was when Elizabeth and Christopher asked Junior to produce a powder that would induce a heart attack when swallowed. But Christopher's...
Powder?
Yeah, I don't know. They're watching too much Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, what the hell?
At this point, though, Christopher Jr. was out of it. He didn't want any part of it, and he refused to find this powder or administer this powder, if it exists.
Yeah, I never heard of that, but okay.
Yeah. Christopher Jr., who admitted assisting an offender, but gave evidence against his father, he was jailed for 21 months.
Okay.
In court, Elizabeth pleaded innocent, swearing that she was unaware of Christopher Sr.'s previous convictions.
That could be true, but you're still involved in a murder plan.
Yeah. Her lawyers pointed out that Elizabeth had also never had any run-ins with the law and was, until now, of good character.
Doesn't matter.
Christopher Reid and Elizabeth Donoghue were both found guilty on unanimous verdicts. Elizabeth Donoghue and Christopher Reid were jailed for life with a minimum of 30 years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
That judge really went for it. Oh, wait, because he did die. Your man did die.
James is dead, yeah. He's dead.
He's dead. It wasn't just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they tried multiple times.
Yeah, so this wasn't just a plan. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm with that. I'm all for that.
Okay, and that's the end of the case.
Really?
No.
Oh my God, what happens? Something about the son. Christopher Jr., what's he up to?
So, fast forward about 15 years to today. Elizabeth Donoghue is still in prison and still maintaining her innocence.
Is she now?
Because we have a twist.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Am I going to feel really bad for the things that I've said? So we're 15 years later.
Yeah, today.
She's been in jail for 15 years, so half of her sentence.
Mm-hmm.
But they... Can she get, like... I don't know, do they even call it parole in the UK? But can she get that? Or...
Yeah. Well...
She can.
Yeah, but only after 30 years.
Yeah, after the 30 years.
Okay. Elizabeth is currently being represented by Appeal, a UK charity and law practice that fights miscarriages of justice and demands reform.
Wow. All right, so they wouldn't take her on unless they felt it was a good, solid reason.
This is similar and alike to the hugely successful and rightfully famous Innocence Project in America.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, so our version in the UK anyway is appeal.org. And this is taken from their website. We recognise that sometimes the system gets it wrong. Stories such as those of the Guildford Four and the Birmingham Six rocked the nation when their convictions were declared unjust back in the 80s and 90s. But has British justice taken steps to ensure these failures do not recur? When the police don't have the resources to investigate thoroughly, when junk science slips into our courtrooms, when the legal aid regime hobbles the defence, or when evidence favourable to the defence is not disclosed, miscarriages of justice can and do still occur. So, back to Elizabeth Donoghue. According to appeal.org, and Lizzie as they refer to her, everything in the case has been mishandled. The crime reconstruction, the forensic science, and the witness testimony. For example...
The witness testimony was who? The neighbours, or...
It was...
the son. The
son, Christopher Jr.
Yeah, okay. I've always been a little bit suspicious of him. I have though, because it was like he was going along with it and then all of a sudden he had a conscience. I don't know about him.
The prosecution...
And then he only did 21 months, do you know?
Yeah, that's
he
not
got
long,
off light.
Yeah. And it could be early. He could be out earlier with good behaviour.
Yeah, it's just not a lot.
Mm-mm. The prosecution argued that the pair planned the murder in order to cash in on the forged life insurance policy. However, it has since been proven that the signature was actually never forged.
Oh my God.
So James did sign that life insurance policy himself.
That's a big piece of the case because it made her look extremely dodgy.
Because that's
It made her give her motive.
the motive for like money, like incentive of money.
Like she set it up.
Today we also know that handwriting analysis is very controversial forensic science, with some courts and judges dismissing it from cases entirely. Like they just will not take handwritten forensic science at all.
Wow.
However, in this case, it was used as damning evidence for motive, like we just said.
Mm-hmm.
Appeal is also focused on the crime reconstruction presented in court to support the prosecution case that Lizzie let her friend in to kill James by the back door of the house. However, this reconstruction is incompatible with what is known from the actual crime scene photos and the pathologist report. So they reconstructed what they thought happened instead of like going from the pictures of the crime scene.
Why? Okay.
Also, during the trial, the prosecution used cell site analysis forensics to pinpoint Lizzie's exact location in the house.
When you said that at the time, I remember thinking, is that possible?
Uh-huh. Right?
The exact, like the room that you are in?
Like, it's never that exact.
No. That twigged for me, but I thought maybe they had some special, I don't know, that could do that. But yeah, okay.
Now, today, this technology is still not perfect. Like, we still today, in 2021, it's not perfect. I cannot get your exact location. But in 2004, it was far worse. Far from perfect. Remember, in 2004, when the murder took place, the most popular phone was the Motorola Razr, right? Okay. The flip phones. The chunky Nokias. Yeah. And
I love a good flip phone.
I know. Remember,
you just feel cool. Flipping it open.
Flipping it down.
Slapping it. Oh, goodbye. Just slap it.
The chunky Nokias were also very popular.
The Nokia...
Like the 3310.
2210. No, what?
I thought it was like a 3310. And then there's like the 3410. And
mine had a piglet case cover. It was...
Oh my God, I remember that.
Everything. It was everything to me. My piglet case cover. Oh my God. I was obsessed with it. I would just stare at it. Loved it.
I would play like so much Snake and stuff. Do you remember?
Oh, under the covers at night.
Oh God.
You think we're asleep, but we're playing Snake. Oh, so good. God. So boring. What a boring game.
You know you can still play it.
Did that for like an hour, huh?
It's like on YouTube. If you press, there's like 3 buttons. If you press at the same time, Snake comes up on YouTube on all the YouTube screens.
No way.
Yeah, you can still play it. But so can you imagine that those were the phones that they're saying they could pinpoint her exact location?
I know. LOL.
Yeah. No, lol. And that's assuming that she had the most popular phone in 2004. It's possible she had a phone from 2000 or 2002. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm.
I know when you say it like that.
It's like, you're fucked.
Yeah.
The prosecution lawyers greatly exaggerated the ability of these phones, which today we think is ridiculous. But at the time, people were sold on it. They're like, this is new technology. They're tracking us. They know where we are at all times. But really...
Yeah, I suppose when you said it, I did think, but then I was like, well, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
I can see how people would believe it.
Like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Also, the forensics of firearm ballistic identification has also came under much scrutiny in recent years. So, like, matching bullets with their guns is also very controversial because we know...
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's not in exact science.
Oh.
According to appeal.org and Lizzie, the police suffered from tunnel vision during the case. They didn't follow any other lines of inquiry, including indications that James's murder was related to drugs.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Mm-hmm. If he was selling drugs or if he owed money to drug dealers, that was not followed up.
So he was.
It seems like it. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Or else he was selling drugs. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And there were also gaps in the case. An unreliable witness who hid the supposed murder weapon. He is the one who filled in all of the gaps in the testimony. Yeah.
Chris Jr.
Lizzie is still serving a minimum 30-year life sentence in prison, where she is renowned for her readiness to help other prisoners. Lizzie struggles through day by day on the love and support of her 3 children and her own mother, all of whom remain convinced that she is the victim of a miscarriage of justice. In our eyes, the person that done it is still out there. I just want my mum out, says one of Lizzie's daughters. I don't only want justice for myself and my family, I want justice for James as well, says Lizzie.
Lizzie herself said that?
Yeah.
When you hear that, I do appreciate that, because I feel like so often accused people don't bring that up.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice that?
Sometimes they forget the original victim.
Yeah, I'm now the victim, and that would make me believe her a bit more, unless she's really calculated and she's thought that through. But not to sorry, I know we've talked about this a lot, but the West Cork case, I find that like Ian Bailey never. Now that's because so obviously, look, Elizabeth and James were married. Obviously, if Ian didn't know Sophie, you know, he wouldn't really want to find her killer. But you know, if I was accused, I'd want to find who actually did it, just simply to get me off as well. You know, like. But some people just don't even talk about getting actual justice, and I find that very suspicious when someone doesn't talk about. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm leaning towards now that she wasn't involved. Why was she involved with such a creep though? That Chris guy. And I mean, maybe she didn't know about Chris's past crimes. It's possible.
It is possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. You just don't tell the person.
Yeah, I mean, that's scary, isn't it? That there's people out there and you don't know what they've done.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what do you think? Do you think she did it?
I'm leaning towards that she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think
Same.
so. Well, so is the trial ongoing, like,
no,
right now?
They're trying to get her, like, an appeal. They're trying to get her.
So that appeal hasn't even been granted?
Yeah, so that's why it's called appeal.org.
Okay.
But yeah, so
my goodness.
Listeners, tell us what you think. Do you think she did it? Yeah?
I'm quite stumped. What do you think?
I think she should get another trial. For sure. She should get
because
an
of
appeal.
all the dodginess. Yeah.
Such
she should.
Dodgy, yeah, forensics. Yeah. Although Chris did kill him. I'm pretty sure Chris did kill him because they had the gun. I'm not too sure.
See,
they're not representing Chris.
Would Chris's motive be drugs? You see, that's what we need. We need all the loose ends tied up. If Chris was involved with the drug dealers, maybe then.
It's not a high-profile case, so I couldn't find very much information on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm suspicious of Chris Jr.
Yes, me also. He's a little shit.
And these people have done 15 bloody years. I think Chris deserves it. I'm not sure. Yeah. If Elizabeth had knowledge of the plan, but I don't know, was somehow not as involved, maybe she should get lesser time. I don't know. I'm thinking of, what's that famous case the ice skater.
The ice skater?
Do you remember the ice skater?
No.
And then was it her boyfriend or her brother or something, like kneecapped the other ice skater?
What?
It's a really famous case.
What?
It's a really
murder?
It's called Tanya. Tanya. Oh. That's the movie. And it's like this really famous ice skater. Oh, you'd love the movie. Are you sure you haven't seen this movie?
Tanya.
Can't remember. Anyway, she's a really famous ice skater, but she was from not the greatest background. I think like her family lived in a trailer and whatnot, and just that whole kind of scene of ice skating is, I mean, you need to have a bit of money for it, you know. And she didn't really have the same etiquette as some of the other girls.
Yeah, it's very middle class sport, like most of the Olympics.
It is, yeah. And she just didn't really align herself with the values. Like it's really funny. She's brilliant. But her boyfriend and her brother, like kneecapped is wrong. Kneecapped is so wrong. It was not a kneecapping. What am I talking about? But they took a bat and bashed in her knee or something like that.
Her knee?
No, the competitor's knee. I am butchering this story. But they took the bat and they hit the girl's knee, because obviously that's a really important part for ice skater. And there's a whole, like, it's a really famous American case, but it was this whole sort of, did Tanya know? Was she involved or was she not involved? Because she kind of had knowledge, like they had sort of said it, and I don't think she took it serious, or she told them not to do it, and it's all, it just kind of reminded me of that, like what if Lizzie, you know, sometimes people joke like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, and you're like, but really, are you? Or, you know.
Just wishful thinking, like, you know, it'd be easy to take out the competition, but you wouldn't act on it.
Yeah. But I think this could have been what happened to Lizzie.
Yeah, like maybe, like, oh yeah, like, if, like, my husband wasn't in the picture, or, like, if he was to die, we could inherit that money.
Some people take
be together. Literal. Yeah.
I mean, think of the Mommy, Dad and Dearest documentary.
My favourite.
The child. What was the child called?
Gypsy
she wasn't
Rose.
really a child.
She wasn't even. She was like fucking 20 or something.
What was her name?
Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose. How could I forget a name like that? She was saying all these things to her boyfriend, and then he just did it. Now he had learning difficulties. Most people wouldn't just do it, but it's funny how someone can just take it so literal and just act on it. That can happen though.
Yeah.
But like, I have a feeling that could have been the case, but I'm very interested to see, does she get an appeal? You'd think after 15 years, like, that is a long time, that they might give her something. And if she's been very good in the prison.
Well, speaking of Gypsy Rose, she could be released in 2026. So only like 4 more years.
Still though, that'll fly. That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
No, wait, I lie. She's eligible for parole in 2024. 2 years.
Wow.
Oh.
God, I'm so excited for her.
Oh God, it's just going to be like immediate storm when she gets released.
Oh God.
And I am for it. I want to know everything.
Oh, I'm so for it. I'm so excited. That's just such a complicated case.
Isn't it?
But she is the true victim, so that's why.
She was. Oh God, my heart goes out to her.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Did you see the Dr. Phil interview? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she did an interview with Dr. Phil. I think it was like in the prison cafe. I can never say the word prison. Do you ever notice that?
Prison.
I was in a prison cafeteria or something like that. I don't know. I remember the setting looking kind of weird. Mm-hmm. But I love a good Dr. Phil interview. Hard to find though.
Yeah, well, we don't really have
American TV. Did you watch the one with the murder of the little beauty queen?
Oh, what's her name? Yeah, I know her. I know, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I know you know. It's just for other people.
Her name has escaped me.
They know as well. So tip my tongue.
JonBenet Ramsey.
JonBenet Ramsey, well done. Did you see the interview with her brother, the Dr. Phil interview with her brother?
No. Everybody thinks he did it. I think he did it.
You need to watch that interview.
What?
Miriam, you need to watch that interview.
Why?
You need
Why?
I there's no words. I don't want to give it away. Anyone who hasn't watched it, I don't want to spoil it for them.
What's his name? Brent? Bart?
Brent. Even that name.
That's not even the name.
Brent. You'll be floored afterwards.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
I think there are non-verbal analysts that have kind of looked at it as well, which is interesting. But honestly, I'm not sure that you even need someone to break it down for you. We're all human.
So
we
obvious.
can all pick up on creepiness.
Do you believe that JonBenet Ramsey will be solved?
I don't think it's ever going to be solved.
No, me neither.
And it was interesting before when you brought up in Lizzie's case about the handwriting analysis, like the forensics of that being a bit dodge. It actually made me think of the JonBenet Ramsey case because the letter, the ransom letter, is supposed to be the mother's handwriting. Was it from the
Small Thorn faction?
Yeah. And the exact number of the husband's raise, but it's supposed to be the mother's handwriting. Have you ever seen the mother's handwriting and the letters side by side?
No.
There's a lot of similarities.
Oh shit.
And I think in Brent's interview, they ask, Dr. Phil does say, you know, like, well, what do you have to say about your mother's handwriting being so close? Yeah. You know, like he brings that up. I can't remember his answer, but it's really hard to argue against it. It's like, well, what can you say?
Yeah.
But it's not hard evidence, I guess, but it's
definitely not hard.
Because the note itself was suspicious.
It's quite circumstantial. I mean,
it is, but there's just the note itself, the paper it was written on, and
I know it was from the house.
It was such a long note. You know all the weird things. There's a list of weird things, and then her handwriting matches. It's that, you know, compounded with all those other things, you know. So it's just really not looking good. But anyway, yeah, I love that case.
Yeah, it's a good case.
Yeah, so obviously if there's updates on Lizzie's case, we will
try to find
catch
out.
up.
We'll try,
hopefully, eventually.
I don't know how you're meant to know. Because it's not a high profile case, you know. It's not it's not JonBenet, so like updates can be overlooked and forgotten.
It's kind of sad that it's not well known because is it just because like drugs, you know,
drugs, they're not wealthy.
That's the
feeling I'm getting. JonBenet Ramsey was insanely wealthy family.
This is it. I think that's why it's not well known, which is really sad.
Yep. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's please go to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, subscribe, so you get notified when we have a new episode released. And you can rate us 4 stars or above. That's it.
We're given 4 as an option now, are we?
4 or above.
4 or above. I love it.
If it's less than 4, we send it back.
That is true.
Also, we have a Patreon. If you would like to just throw a few bob our way, go check it out. We'll try to get more active on it, but we've just set it up, so it's all very new. It's all very new and confusing and scary. If you want to send us some love. Yeah. And is that it?
Yeah. Slán
Bye-bye.
Me Time and Murder would like to thank and acknowledge our sources that make this podcast possible. References can be found on our Instagram page.